What is going on, YouTube and everybody around the world? This is Sonic Mix, and tonight I am here to give my review for WWE Smackdown, August 30th, 2016, the last Smackdown before the end of August. And I gotta say, Smackdown I felt was slightly solid. Not anything too big happened, but there was a couple interesting things that I thought was definitely something to eyeball about. And without further ado, let's get right on with this review. And actually, upon this recording, SmackDown just ended a few moments ago, so just wanted to mention that. Before the show actually started, there was a flashback to The Miz's promo on Talking Smack, on how he basically unleashed a fury on Daniel Bryan, which everybody's talking about. And I want to get my quick thoughts on this really quick. This has to be one of the best Miz promos I've ever seen. Whether this was a shoot, a work shoot, off script, whatever the case this was excellent. You could hear it in the Miz's voice that he was very passionate. He had this huge emotion, and he felt like he extremely cared. Especially the one part where Daniel Bryan is explaining how he can't wrestle, and that if the WWE were to clear him, that he could wrestle, he would. And the Miz insulted him, basically saying, well, then why don't you leave? Why don't you leave and go to your bingo halls? It was such a fantastic segment. Like I said, whether this was a shoot, work, whatever you want to call it, this was some really good stuff. And as a matter of fact, it kind of wants me to watch Talking Smack now on the WWE Network, which I never really watch any of those shows. I don't watch the Talking Smack or the Camp WWE. The only things I watch is the pay-per-views, NXT, the NXT takeovers. And that's about it. I was watching Swerve, but I kind of gave up on that. But I just want to point out, excellent segment from Talking Smack from last week. So we get into the kickoff, which was the Miz promo, which eventually Ziggler came out. But I want to talk about the Miz promo. I thought he was really good. This was some very good stuff from the Miz. And he seems to be playing off from his promo, what he cut last week. And I gotta say, if he keeps up what he's doing right here, he can get somewhere really quick, I feel. Ziggler came out, he said his thing. He was basically saying how oh, you've been put down. How about you take your first shot at me, and if you don't, you are a coward because you do wrestle soft, or whatever the case it was. Very good stuff here. I thought The Miz, once again, did a very good job. Ziggler did good. And they just announced this right now on the WWE Network or on Talking Smack that there will be a match between The Miz versus Ziggler, and I believe it'll be for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. Very quick announcement, and going to be a very short build, but I think the match will be fine. But of course, I'll do that prediction the day before Backlash. But very good stuff from the Miz and Ziggler promo right here. Then we get into our actual match. The Hype Bros versus the Vaudevillains in the semifinals for the tag team tournament. I thought this was okay at best. It was a short match, and I'm going to point out something here. Did they completely stop with the one guy announcing the Vaudevillains gather around everyone as we witness the Devonator devastation of such exquisite sophistication, aided English Simon Dust, the Vaudevillains? Did they stop that? Because I think that was the best part of that whole theme. I just wanted to point that out. The Hype Bros win with the Rough Rider. I forgot what it's actually called. I can't remember it offhand. Once again, it was a fine match, very short. Hype Bros did a little promo, nothing out of the ordinary. I give this match a 2.25 out of 5. Like I said, it was a very short, nothing out of the ordinary. And let's move on to the next one. Up next, AJ Styles cut a promo. Basically, how he is now the face that runs the place. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles. I thought he cut a very good promo until Cruz came out. And I just gotta say something. Is this the new gimmick now with Cruz? How he's doing a spelling bee? Because there was a backstage promo with AJ and Cruz. And Cruz says, "My name is Apollo Crews, Crews. I hope this isn't his character gimmick. I think it'd be kind of lame if it was. But Cruz came out. He said that he said that Shane McMahon announced with permission that I have a match against you, and that's right now. AJ Styles against Apollo Crews. I thought this match was solid, and I think Cruz is a good performer. He did a very good moonsault from the apron to the outside on AJ. And I thought these guys had a solid match. 3 out of 5. But Cruz needs to get rid of the smile. He really needs to get rid of the smile. I kind of see Cruz as like this really big, tough guy, but they probably don't want to pull the trigger of him turning heel, but he's kind of going nowhere at the moment, especially another loss again after his loss with The Miz at SummerSlam. So they're not doing anything with him at the moment. And I think maybe a heel turn might be the best move. Or you're going to have to give him a gimmick that people can take serious. Then we had a Heath Slater segment in his trailer home with Rhino, Renee Young, and then a Heath Slater's wife, who I can't remember offhand. I thought this was a fine segment. I loved how they were doing the flashbacks with Heath against Brock, Heath against Orton, the contract signing, and how Heath brought up how he didn't meant to say that Shane was beautiful and all that. Funniest moment, I thought, Rhino's eating some crackers, and he's got like this flavor tube. I forgot what they call it. But he basically draws a sad face on the cracker. I thought that was hysterical. Everything else was just basically fine. I didn't really see this as like, wow, this is really exciting. I give this segment a 2.75 out of 5. Up next was the Bray Riot promo. I thought this was fine as well. I thought Bray did a good job on the mic. And I don't understand why people go, what? Or there wasn't even a Husky Harris chant. I think Bray is fine. I think the problem is Bray has been kind of on a go-nowhere streak, and he has been for the past couple years. And I think if Bray were to start winning matches and not just be a body, I think people could take him more seriously. Orton came out, he cut his promo, and they basically announced that Bray's going to face Orton at Backlash. I'm actually looking forward to the match, but I think Bray needs the win. I don't think it's not going to hurt Orton in any way to have the loss, to have the first match be a loss towards Orton. They could have this feud going up until Survivor Series. So I think Bray should win the first fall, Orton wins the next, and then the rubber match is whoever is the higher favor for Survivor Series. But it was a fine segment. I give it about a 2.75 out of 5 as well. Up next, we had a women's tag team match. We had Alexa Bliss, Natalya versus Naomi and Becky Lynch. This was one of the most better women's matches, but that's not saying too much. I thought this was okay. Nikki Bella was on commentary, and towards the end of the match, Carmella comes out. She attacks Nikki Bella. She jumped over the barricade from the crowd, attacked Nikki Bella. Distraction by Becky. I think it was Alexa Bliss that got the... Yeah, it was her. She got the roll of victory, grabbed the tights, and got the win. okay match. Nothing really exciting out of this match, but look, it was really I wouldn't say it was a skippable match. I mean, they tried, but it was just kind of whatever. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next, we got the returning after 16 years, according to Renato, the Headbangers versus Heath Slater and Rhino in tag team competition. The Headbangers really didn't get a pop. I mean, there was a couple people you could hear in the crowd that kind of went bananas, but not really. If this was in Brooklyn, New York, I think the Headbangers would have gotten a tremendous reaction, but this was kind of one of those scenarios where it was too little too late. Once again, the match was short. Match was okay at best. The fans were chanting, "Let's go Slater." There was the Slater section in the crowd. This was basically Heath Slater and Rhino's moment. There was no chance for Headbangers whatsoever. Okay match. I give it a 2.25 out of 5. And then before Ambrose and the Baron Corbin match happened, there was this random dude basically saying that he wanted a match, and at one point it sounded like he was copying Enzo Amore because he went like, "My name is this person, and I am." So there was like kind of a copying of Enzo. But then Kane came out, delivered the choke slam. Why was this segment even in the show? I don't know. This is WWE. Let's just move along. Ambrose, Baron Corbin. I thought this was fine up until the finish. I think actually Ambrose arguably might have had given Baron Corbin his best match from NXT to the main roster. But towards the end, AJ's basically barking orders at Corbin saying, "Get on him, get on him." Corbin gets up AJ's face. He's telling him, "Don't tell me what to do." AJ saying, "You better back off." And then with a miscommunication, AJ kicks Baron Corbin, originally going for Dean Ambrose. Referee calls for disqualification. And then Ambrose hits the dirty deeds on Baron Corbin anyway. Styles is about to go for the phenomenal forearm when he sweeps AJ's leg. AJ lands on the ropes, and AJ's just kind of like there, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like I said, it was a fine match up until the finish. I wasn't too fond of the finish, but then again, I think the reason why was probably they probably didn't want to have Ambrose pin Corbin. So they kind of want to make it to where Corbin doesn't look weak, but he doesn't look strong at the same time. But I think they could have came up with a better finish, at least in my opinion. I give the match a 2. Like I said, the match was fine. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. And that's saying a lot. Like I said, I think Ambrose did put Corbin to his best match. But ending could have been a bit better. Overall score for Smackdown, I give it a 2 point. No, whoa, not 2 point. Whoa, now I'm thinking match quality. I give it a 6.75. It was not quite a solid match. I mean, it was tolerable. You could watch it. I would say the Miz and Ziggler promo was good. The AJ Cruz match was good. The Bray segment was good. I would check out the Heath segment. Ambrose Corbin was fine. Ending could have been better. 6.75. And to wrap up the battle between Raw versus SmackDown, I easily think Raw was the victor in this. At least I think. Just with the Fatal 4-Way, Jericho Neville. I actually have the notes right here. Sheamus Cesaro was fine. And yeah, I would think so. And like I said, I think SmackDown just had a lot of short matches. But like I said, it is a 2-hour show. It is more memorable to remember things, unlike the 3-hour show of Raw. But I think Raw, by not much, but Raw slightly wins. I think if it wasn't for Kevin Owens winning, I would think SmackDown would win. But because Kevin Owens won and the finish, I think Raw just edges SmackDown. And with that being said, this wraps up my review for SmackDown, August 30th, 2016. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave your comments. Tell me what you thought about the show. As always, you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SonicMix1991. Twitch as well, twitch.com/SonicMix1991. Links will always be in the description on the bottom below. And until then, I will see you guys later.